Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our live stream, a shorter one this evening, as we're going to do a little bit of flying. No, there will not be a timer tonight. You're welcome, because we will be doing a flight simulator hop. You can't really stop those on a timer, so less to worry about in this live stream. All right, Tim, I think we're ready to rock and roll here. Let's get you going in 3, 2.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, my friends, it is live stream time. We're gonna see how this goes. Like I said, like someone else said, that
Wasn't this voice at all?
Or this one for that record.
We're going to do a little flight simulator, and we're going to do a little hop, skip, and a jump. I have a experience I want to try, possibly switching airplanes in between. I'm not sure, but my wife and I did a cruise. We saved up 11 years to do this cruise when we first started our marriage. Hey there, Zach. Hey, buddy. And so I thought it would be really cool for me personally. I don't know if you guys will enjoy it or not, per se, but I wanted to do the same cruise that we did, but do it flying it in Flight Simulator. So that's what I'm going to be doing this evening. I'm going to do the first hop of that tonight. And probably that's all I'm doing tonight, but we're going to at least give this a shot and see how it goes. So here's our flight plan for this evening as we pull up our game mode here and double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything. So tonight we're going to be flying from Tampa Bay Regional Airport to Key West. And we were in the port of Tampa, which I think is right in here. And we came out here and came down the side here, and we went all the way to Key West. And if you want to see that video, if you want to see that cruise, I vlogged the entire cruise, the entire trip, and believe it or not, it's on our Humboldt Vanguard page, and it's a previous vlog entry. I made a video of the entire trip, so if you want to see that vlog, you can go and check that out, and I fully support you doing it because it was a lot of fun. So we're going to get things going here so that we can get this flight going. We are going to be taking off with nothing turned on. I haven't used this plane in a very long time, so there's a few things I'm going to have to do to get it booted up properly, but it'll be a fun night. So how you doing, Zach? Our newest member to the channel, which I need to remember to add him to our members list. And I didn't even do that tonight. I'm a terrible human being, aren't I? Let's see if it pops up here. Nope, I don't have it programmed for this. Okay, oh well, let me see while the game is still loading. Big thanks to our channel. Is it really not going to show up here? Why aren't our channel members showing up? Things aren't working. Things are broken. Maybe it's this one? No. It's definitely this one. And then, wow, something's going weird. Nothing new. I deal with this all the time. Okay, well, at least we still got the game going. So, yes, thank you to everyone who supports the channel. Apparently, I'm having some...
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra ready at runway tree north departure.
Okay.
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Tower. The airport is IFR. VFR takeoffs not permitted. Contact ground on 121.4.
This weather is miserable.
Going to 121.4 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
That's going to spoil some things.
Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra ground airport is currently IFR. Request denied.
This uses real weather conditions, so I might change that because I'd like to have a nice flight. Also, I'm going to try something new. I'm trying to decide if I want to spend the $30, which is a great price, frankly, but you can take a look and we can look around in the cockpit because I'm using a web camera in front of me right now and it's reading my eyes. And so if I turn my head and I look to one side or to the other, we can look around in the cockpit. And I haven't fully decided if I like it yet or not. One thing I'm noticing is I'm on the runway, so already this is going wrong. So let's jump back. Let's go main menu, because I am not supposed to be on the runway. I want to boot up my plane. I want to get everything up and running. So yeah, I'm using a very old web camera. Logitech C922 or something like that. Very, very old. You can get them for dirt cheap now, I'm sure, since there are so many better options out there these days. So let me reprogram this back in. And it's like $30 to have this little eye tracker system. So we're going to go KBKV, okay, Tampa Regional. And I want to be at, I had all this programmed in already, so I apologize. Bear with me. This will not take long to assemble. See, and I told it that I wanted to be right here at ramp 32 as a departure. Okay, and then we're going to change the weather because I want good weather to do this. I want to fly along the coastline, and then where did I say I was going? I'm going to Key West. So we're going to go KEYW, Key West. Okay, and we're not doing real weather conditions, so we're going to do custom weather. I've started at 8 o'clock in the morning. I like that, so we can see a little bit of the sunrise. And then January 23rd, doesn't really matter. No live weather. I want clear skies. Clear skies, baby. All right, let's see if that gives us what we're looking for. I don't know if I have it all set right. We're going to find out. So hopefully 8:09 a.m. So we're going to get that nice sunrise, hopefully, in the 30-minute flight. And hopefully this will work a little better. Let's find out. Shall we? And once again, no timer tonight. So we're just doing it live just because when you're flying, the goal is fly and land. So you don't really want to stop halfway through to make a point. But your likes are still always appreciated, and that's helpful always. I do also, while this is loading, I have this set up here. And you can see that this is showing the entire route of the entire trip that my wife and I took. I have it all built into my little nav map so that I can come back and check this out whenever I want. This looks much better. So let's get into this game here. Let's get the plane booted up. Let's get things programmed in, and let's have a little bit of fun. So let's see what happens here. Okay, let me reset my eyeballs. So you look straight ahead at the screen, and then you hit Alt-N. So the radio's off. Don't worry, we'll turn the radio on here in a second once I remember how. And it does take a little bit of, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. We're just going to have to see. Now, I'm flying the same plane that I flew in our last live stream. So hopefully I will be able to turn this guy on fairly quickly. So these guys need to come on. There we go. Not changing that. I want all the fuel to stay the same. None of that. Okay. I like this, but it's also very uncomfortable to try and, like, tilt your head. Because it's, like, reading... It's reading what you're doing with your head. And so you do have to make some rather awkward movements. Okay, we're booting up the plane now. And I'm also going to attempt... And this is where I'm most concerned. I'm going to attempt to do this with a controller. Because I have my bigger system, but frankly, my controller, if it will... Yeah, it's working. Okay. And I can't see out the sides to do anything about it. But, yeah, so we're going to see how this goes. And I can look around the cockpit a little bit with this, too, but... The goal is to not touch that so much and just fly the plane. We'll see. This could end in a heaping ball of fire, but we're going to find out. Okay. Let me tilt this down a little so I don't have to do as much work with my head. Let's see. Like, for instance, like I can look in here a little tighter, and we can see if we have this initialized. And I just looked up how to use this thing, and it was confusing. Very, very confusing. So I'm hoping that it's just going to work for us. But, like, you see how it's kind of jumping around a little bit? I'm already not a fan of that. Flight plan. All right, second flight plan. Initialize. Okay, it's showing... No cargo. Looks like we got a lot on board. I'm not sure how true that is. Pilot CDU soft key takeoff. Okay, I'm not going to program any of this, frankly. I would love to just do this GPS style, but we have had many problems trying to use our GPS, and I think it's my fault for not understanding how to initialize this system. And even though I've watched 2 videos on it, okay, so here you go. KBKV to KEYW, so that's all in there. But I still haven't initialized the position, which is weird. So if we go here and we hit execute, will that initialize it? No. So that's where I'm confused. And the thing is that like totally messes up our system as far as I can tell. All right, why is my controller doing weird things now? Oh gosh, I have no idea what's happening here. My controller is getting really weird. Like now I'm stuck in this whatever this nonsense mode is. Get out of that. How do I... This is not going well. Oh, good. There we go. Better. All right. Well, at least we got the plane started okay. Let me just... You know what? I'm just going to get out my little nav map here. And I'm going to cheat. Just because I want to get in the air. All right, so when we take off here, what I would like to do is fly over to GOLTY this way. And the reason why is because I want to go over the bridge, which will happen very, very quickly because when we left port, right here is the Sunset Bridge. And I would love to fly this direction. So trying to figure out how we're going to take off and go that direction. I think I'm just going to eyeball it. And then we will... We're going to go up in flames again. I think that's very likely. We're probably just going to go up in flames again. But, you know, one of these days I'll do this right, but apparently not today. So let's go to our ATC, tune into ground, tune into clearance request to depart straight out.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra request taxi for takeoff straight out departure.
Okay.
Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra taxi to and hold short of runway 27 via taxiway Alpha Cross runway 21 Alpha Bravo. Contact tower on 118.55 when ready.
Okay, acknowledged.
Taxi to and hold short runway 27 using taxiway Alpha Cross runway 21 Alpha Bravo Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Okay, and I have no idea how I'm doing that, so I'm going to pull up my little nav map on my lower screen here so that I can look at my maps and see the airport and all of its taxiways. That way I can get a hint on that. Let's go ahead and close out this window and our search bar, so that's a little better. So that way I can see all the different taxiways as I'm going along here, because I'm going to be very antsy about... Oh, are they literally telling me where to go? That's pretty cool if that's the case. Let's see. Taxi... Hold short of runway 27. No. Nope, they definitely have a different plan for me. Okay. Request pushback, please.
Ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra requesting pushback.
Okay,
Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra pushback request accepted.
fuel boost on, right and left, and parking brake. So I need to take off the parking brake and boost right and left on. Okay. Now let me look again. See, that's weird. Full boost. I'm turning that off because that's manual. I don't want it to do that. I want it to just... Okay. So I'm hoping that's going to do its thing on its own. All right. So this guy's backing up here so he can push us back here. He's getting hooked up there. I love the idea of this. With having the camera like this. I think it's ingenious. And so it uses beam I forget what it's called, beam tracker, and then it uses this, which is called open track, and you see the little squid? So as I turn my head and move it around, you can see the squid moving as if it's my eyes. And so that's how it's tracking my movement with my face. It's very, very cool. All right. All right, so we're getting pushed back here. So while we're getting pushed back here enough to make some decisions, once again, we're going to look here, and it says taxi and hold short of runway 27 via taxiway A. Okay, so taxiway A, we're going to go past the edge of runway 21, cross runway 21. Okay, cool. So they're still pushing us back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and say stop here.
Ground Cessna Alpha Sierra
That's pretty sweet, isn't it?
requesting the end of pushback.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra request to end pushback received.
Okay. I just realized tonight that my screen has some pretty serious burn-in. It's breaking my heart. Okay, so we can go ahead and start heading out. And I'm really hoping that this little controller is going to allow me to do this reasonably enough. So I'm just going to scoot up my throttle here. I don't need to adjust my speed brakes. I just want a teensy bit of throttle. Okay, I need to move this ATC out of my way. Why am I having an issue right now? Okay, this is becoming very uncomfortable. Because it's basically using the center point of my screen. It's not letting me control it because of the... This is going badly. I might have to plug in my joystick because I'll probably have a better chance of flying. Oh, it's already plugged in. So maybe we can make this work. Hang on. Get this big bazooka in my lap. Problem is, it gets in the way a little bit. Okay. Is it working? Yep, it's working. Rudders are working. Rudders are working. Okay. Throttle. Throttle is working, I assume. Oh, yeah. All right. See, like, now I'm not as close to it as I want to be because I got this ginormous thing in my lap. Okay. Is there something... Oh, did I not do something right? Like, did I not turn on... I hit it. Oh. Here we go. I didn't actually turn on my engines. I should start spooling up now. That might help. That's kind of important. Okay. I'm going to do a pop out and move this ATC off screen here so it doesn't get in our way. All right. How are we looking here? Engines are still not moving much. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Left engine. Right engine. Nothing's happening. Are we... Okay, well, it says we're good, so... Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, we're moving. We are moving indeed. This is happening. And I have no idea where I'm going. I'm hoping I'm supposed to go somewhere this way. See, I feel too far away right now. And I forget which one is my brakes. So this could be fun. Car, you're in my way. I need you to move because I'm hanging a Louie here and I don't have any turn signals. All right, here we go. All right, taxiway. And we're going to pass over... we're going to pass over this runway here. Okay, I need to remember what my brakes are. And I'm scared to push the wrong button. Hey, I got it first try. All right. So we need to go over this runway, through the woods to Grandma's house. Okay. Let me get some things moved out of the way here, and I'm going to try and put my... there we go. And yes, for the record, I do have VR goggles, and yes, I have tried them, but there isn't a good way to share it. Like, I haven't found a good way to live stream it because it sets the computer in a VR mode, which is not cohesive to share online, which is such a shame because it would be so much fun to share it like that. Okay, so we are going over here. We're going to take this first turn here. All right. I love this. I mean, I think I love this. Definitely not driving straight. Don't you judge me. All right, we're going to go back to clearance. Me stop here. Stopping short of the runway. Okay. Tune into tower on 118.550. Request takeoff clearance VFR from tower.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra at runway 27 ready for departure, straight out departure.
Okay.
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Windcom straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 27.
All right. Acknowledge takeoff.
Takeoff runway 27 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay, and we got flaps 10 degrees. So we are ready, my friends, to take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight ASXGS, which is Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra, as we take off to Key West. Keep your seats upright, put those trays in an upright position, and we are off. Here we go.
It's going to feel a little bit like a rocket ship. I love Flight Simulator. And I did not realize I don't even own the latest edition. I own, like, Flight Sim 2020. So I'm going to totally get 2024. Oh, beautiful takeoff. All right, let's get our trim set. Ah, beautiful takeoff. Okay. Okay, way too much trim. Yo, way too much trim. Back it down, son. I'm glad you're excited. Whoa. Okay. All right. Let me zoom out here so I can get my bearings on where I would like to go. Oh, this is great. Beautiful. Excellent. Look at that. I can stick my head out the window. There is no window to stick your head out of, for the record. Okay. So we're going to just follow along the coastline here.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
All right. Acknowledge frequency change.
Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra frequency change.
All right. My head is like cranking right now, so I'm going to go ahead and try and reset my camera position here. There we go. Hopefully not as bad as before. Oh, great. My pilot is a demon again. Yeah, that's right. You know.
Welcome to the pits of hell as we now fly over Florida. High humidity today, extreme tourism, traffic terrible. So, yeah, just another day in paradise. For the record, I used to live here for like 16 years
Well, not in Tampa. I lived in Orlando, and in surrounding areas around Orlando for the majority of 16 years. All right, so my goal here is that we're going to fly over that away and go along the coastline here, and I'm hoping that we're going to see the bridge that we went under with our boat. And then once we have that figured out, then we'll start working on setting up GPS stuff to get us over to Key West. That's the theory. And I do need to try to be in bed by about 11 tonight. So, because we have, my wife and I have something big for Sunday planned. We're going to do a wedding event to try and get me some more caricature gigs. So it is my desire that we get some proper rest. She's already asleep. I took a nap, so that's not going to help me at all already. All right, I definitely have... That's all good. Excellent. We're in the green. Both wings are dropping fuel equally. Oh, get rid of those flaps. Don't need those. Yeah, we'll have to trim out again. Here we go. Piece of cake. Just a couple trim tabs and we are good. Okay, we're doing good on our speed. I would like to go ahead and start working on setting at least our vertical speed. So we can do flight director on. We can do vertical speed on. I don't know if we can control that yet. Let's see. I'm hoping that's working and not just reading off. Nope, it's not working. It's because I don't have autopilot on yet. I just don't want to miss the pretty view while we're going along here too. So I'm trying to do this without losing any, not causing any too much damage. So we're going to do the heading bug at 230, maybe 225. That way I can turn on heading, and then I can turn on yaw dampener and autopilot. And hopefully this guy will start to take control. Looks good. And now we can maybe get our vertical speed indicator working a little better. Okay, I want to go down, 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 down. There we go. And let's see, did I have a... No, I don't know what my altitude was set at. So we'll set it at 3,000 feet. Maybe try to go just a tiny bit lower than we are right now. 3,500 feet. Vertical speed on. And vertical navigation on. Is autopilot on? Yes. How about flight director? On. So let's see if we have control now. Yep, we sure do. Alrighty. Checking the little nav map. We're doing great. This is nice. This is nice. I do feel like the camera stuff is just a little too shaky. Like, it's good, but it's not good. So here is the... I don't know if this pops up in the live stream. So here's the beam tracker system. Oh, it's hiding behind my camera. And I try to click it and it won't move, so sorry about that. But I'm going to see if I can add some filtering to this to make it just a tiny bit smoother.
Altitude.
Okay. So... Alright, our speed is a little overdone. So let's go ahead and throttle back slightly here. I don't have speed set. There we go. Little better. How are we looking here? We're looking good. Let's go ahead and turn just a touch. I used to think that flying a plane by wire would be boring. Now that I am flying these bigger planes, I mean, this is like a Cessna, I forget what kind of Cessna, like a Cirrus kind of liner. I would call it like a Learjet kind of a thing. It makes more sense to fly it automatic and not manual controls. I'm just going to turn these on just so I can see my stuff a little better down here. Nice. I would like to be a little closer to the coast, even though we're flying along the coast really beautifully right now. There is a plane taking off at the airport. That's somewhere over here. Let's go ahead and carefully turn to maybe just try to get along the coast here a little bit more. Probably overdoing it just a tiny bit, but whatever. All right. So what's on the agenda tonight, Zach? What you up to? All right, we're flying. And honestly, the camera is doing a little bit better with not over-exaggerating my head movements here. So hopefully we're making just a tiny bit of progress. Maybe getting this set so it's not as invasive on everyone. Wow. Like I said, I wanted to see the sunrise. We're getting some of that. I was going to watch Pirates 2 with my friend, but he's still playing a game. Yeah? You guys doing the marathon run? Is that what's going on? I like that it even reads my head tilt. I mean, this is cool. So if I just relax and lean back a little, and I can just look. I mean, it's pretty cool. Now, this is kind of weird, because look at how far back it comes back. But, yeah. Well, that's a fun marathon. I'm glad you're getting it in there. I'm also noticing I can turn my head pretty far this way, but this way it stops there, where I feel like I should be able to go further than that. But, okay. Not to judge. All right. It is almost seamless. Like I'm almost feeling like I'm liking it. All right, our throttle's a little low. Let's go ahead and pick that up a little bit. Let's also see if maybe we can get our speed actually working here. So I'd like to go about 250 knots. So let's do this, 155, 250. And hopefully we hit this and we'll see something good happen. Are we on? Yep. And I see my little bug here that looks like it's trying to get us in the ballpark, even though it's at 260. I don't know. Maybe it's... We'll see if it works. We're holding at 3,500 feet, which is good. Flight director's on. Vertical speed is off at the moment, which is interesting. VNAV is on. FLC is off. Why? I just turned that on. There we go. I don't know if... Oh, it turns itself off. I wonder why that is. Navigation is off. Heading is on. Okay. Altimeter is on. So this is turning itself off for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Interesting. I mean, like, just the idea of the sun reflecting in the little lakes down there and stuff like that is just so cool. Being able to look up and over my my dash, see all the views. I feel like we're actually about to come over the port. That is exactly what's going on here. So in this water area over here is the port that we left when we... I'd love to head that direction a bit more. So let me see if I can just move us a little bit more this direction, because I would love to, like, see if there's any cruise ships over here or anything like that, if they've modeled that into this in any way. I think that would be cool to see, you know, see the Tampa port, which I don't know if that's going to be in this area or over here. I mean, honestly, it could be even over here. No, I feel like it was pretty close to the ocean. I bet you, like, it's in this area. Well, hello, everyone who's watching. I appreciate seeing a few people in here. My name is Tim Lee. I'm your big brother. Love chatting with you guys, keeping you all company and seeing how you're doing. We are playing a little flight simulator, which is one of my favorite games, but I don't play it very often. I always think you guys want Stardew Valley or some of my other games, and I am such a freaking people pleaser. So I'm having some fun doing a bit more of a selfish thing for me tonight. And I figured a nice little simple flight in our Cirrus, Cessna Cirrus, whatever this thing is. I don't know what I'm flying. It's a jet. And I'm sure that's sacrilege for someone out there, but yes. So, we're having fun. Okay, so, once again... clueless. I'm also wondering, trying to look at my map down below. There's Bradenton. So I don't know. Maybe they won't show the cruise ships. What would help is there's supposed to be an airport. I think it's the Bradenton Airport that we're probably going to fly right over or fly right next to here in a few minutes. And I remember seeing that as our boat was leaving port, and I thought that was just the coolest airport that I would love to fly at in real life. Is there another one down the way? Oh, there's a couple. Oh, maybe it's this one. I don't know. No. Here it is. Marco Island. That's it. Marco Island, KMKY. That's down quite a ways. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Very interesting. We are going through... yeah, we're going over the area I was leaning towards, so interesting. And then, technically, the bridge that I want to see is somewhere out there in the water, believe it or not. At least I think that's it. Or are we passing over it here? We're passing over it right here. What is this? Passage Key Inlet. So apparently there's a bridge. That's it right there. Yes, that is it. Look at that. That's cool, man. Oh, that's cool. See that right there? That little entry point right there? This is probably a lot more fun for me than it is for you guys. But, just because I'm, like, reliving, like, remembering. Go watch my vlog. Like, if I had the ability, I should put, like, my vlog up in this video and have you guys watch it. Literally the experience of, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to do that. Hang on. How do I pause this? How do I actively pause this? Okay, here. Hang on. Because I would love for you guys to see the story that ties in with this, like, so perfectly. I have no idea how I'm going to pull this off. But I want to show you this. Actually, I do know how I'm going to pull this off. I just need a few minutes to build it. Let's go to Humboldt Vanguard. This is going to be a multi media experience. And we need day 1 boarding the cruise ship, I believe. Here we go.
Real moment.
All right. So how am I going to do this? I am going to move this over here. I'm going to move this up here. Okay, now I can still see my maps and see where I'm going. And then I'm going to share this screen. Oh, gosh. Can I do my multi-screen? Didn't I build a multi-screen system here? Let's see if this works. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I built this just the other day. So hopefully this will work. Can I put this over here? And then full screen this one. All right. And then let me see if I can find the chat. There we go. All right, that way I'm not missing out on any chats. Okay, let's see if this works.
We got Walgreens behind us. We have both woken up as I can. She's got sore throat, all kinds of stuff. I got sore throat. Mine's getting better.
I just got over sick too, so I'm tired of this.
Yeah, so we're not sure if I want to blame it on the weather, just because.
I want to blame it on the change in atmosphere.
Because, I mean, come on, we're 2,000 miles below, 3,000 miles below where we live.
Feels like Campbell Day was going to
Yeah.
actually.
No, is it not like a swallow thing? I took my meds, so I'm already feeling sick because if I don't eat something, my ADHD meds make me sick. Now we go to the port and drop off.
Can you
our
hear that
bags,
okay?
Hopefully.
Oh, we forgot to staple it.
Chevron NMC. The fact that you have to staple your stuff to your bags.
Cool.
Come on, they should have it there, you know.
They probably do.
So you would just do that? Okay. Long story short, they're not going to put us in.
Amen. S'mores Pop-Tart.
We're going to finish eating. We're going to go put our bags over there, and then we get to take this beautiful little beast back to our ship along, which is so sad.
We've been having a good time. My head has hit the back of this thing so many times.
We rented a Tesla. I'd never driven a Tesla before. It was amazing.
And they're going to be like, oh, it's not fast enough.
It's so sad.
There's so much torque in this thing. And I could drive around like a go-kart and still not get in trouble because I'm still under the speed limit. But even a cop would be like, wow! Alright, anyway, we're going to feast on Pop-Tarts and Zycam and then get this trip started. Next you'll be seeing is us checking in for the boat. Which we've never done before, so it's this good. Yeah, it'll be trippy.
Yay!
It's happening!
Here.
It's happening!
I'm pretty sure that's our ship. Can't see the front now with that white truck there, but
That's a cool looking ship.
it looks not as fancy as I was thinking. The pictures obviously make it look really good, but I'm pretty sure that's our ship. That is humongo. That's humongo.
It keeps going.
I know. Around the corner. Yeah, NCL. That is our ship. Crazy.
We, unfortunately, both of us had two different arrival times, so we went with the earlier time because that's the time we got there, which was nice.
Yep.
And I think we've actually worked it really well. I'm sure everybody thinks they got there at a good time, but I feel like once we got there, the line got really long behind us.
It really did.
So it worked out really well.
Yep.
And it was a lot smoother than I thought it would be.
Me too. I was thinking we'd have to do a whole bunch more in like going through security with all of our passports and
Yes.
everything. I thought it was going to be much more. I'm remembering traveling 10 years ago overseas
yeah.
and stuff, and that was a whole different animal.
And it really reminded me of an airport.
It did,
Obviously, it's a long
100%.
line. You're going through security.
Yep.
But honestly, I mean, I don't feel like it was quite as in-depth as security.
Right.
Or airport, I mean.
Had a nice guy. As soon as he heard we were newbies, he's like, I'm going to get you in a short line. Scooted
Yeah.
us right into a short line. We're watching as there's a couple people at the desk, and we're going, great, we're all going to have to take turns to go up to the desk. No, they had porters coming out to each line, and then they were checking us in with iPads.
Yep.
Really quick, took a picture of us,
Yep.
ran over to the desk, grabbed our cards, brought them back to us, and then said, by the way, just so you know, lunch is already serving in the boat.
Yeah, the cruise is this way. Follow the cruise ship signs, and they'll be serving lunch here shortly. And we were like, oh my gosh, we feel like we're first class.
Yeah, it felt very homey.
Yeah.
It felt very homey.
It was cute.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
So then you go up a flight of stairs, escalator, and you go through what looks like an airport terminal walking onto an airplane. because it's literally that exact same thing. Then you get to a gangplank, and you make your way on board the boat.
And they had people waiting for us,
Yep.
and people welcoming us, and
Yep.
with the little dances, like I'm sure they do for everybody.
Oh,
But
yeah.
still, with it being our first cruise, we were excited to see that.
Yep. Scan you in with your card. You walk into the main deck, and a gentleman there was there to instruct us, though we barely understood him, and basically said we had to go to our fire station and basically check in
Yep.
at the fire station. The rooms weren't ready yet, so we went and checked in at the fire station, and then we went up to deck 12 and went out on the lovely
Midship,
pool.
deck 12 midship is our pool deck on our ship, so we got to get an idea. Pretty much it was very packed because everybody was waiting all over the ship, but a lot of the pool deck for their
Yep.
rooms to be ready.
Yep.
And as certain rooms became available on certain decks, they would then announce that over the speakers.
Yep.
And those people would then be allowed to go get into their rooms. So we hung out. I think we had a little bit of food. We might have had a couple drinks.
Yep, maybe an hour there. Live music going on while we were there. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
And then once they had let us know about the room, then we walked over to our room and checked it out. Turn on the light. This is nice. Fajar. Oh, that's right. What's this? Hang on. No? Oh, wait. That one. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's more. There's gotta be more.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
It's so tiny. I mean, it's so tiny. And it's doable. It's nice.
So I feel like we're missing a. Oh, there's lights back there. But I don't know how they're triggered. On the bottom? Oh. And here I thought there'd be a light like up here. Interesting. Okay.
It's just there.
Was that a USB port? Oh, that's ingenious. Yes, please. Yeah. Holy crap! Look at that! Oh. What's this? Hang on. Honey. It says child lock.
You know what? It probably is.
We saved 11 years to do this. When we first got married 11 years ago, Mandy started putting money away for us to do this trip.
Oh my gosh.
It was a big deal, a very big deal.
In a good way. Yes. This reminds me.
Do you like?
Like, it's kind of it's a very fun new experience. Get them all lined up.
Yeah. I doubt we'll be doing this for like another 10 years, but
Military ship.
it was awesome. Being in the Bay of Tampa takes a long time to get out of that bay.
It was so long. It was actually a lot longer than I thought it would
Yes.
be because it literally, I mean, we had a couple that was next to us and it was fun to talk to them, but they mentioned we had to pass under a sunset bridge.
That bridge that I was
and
telling
my
you.
thinking was, okay, cool, you see the sunsets, but literally we didn't get there until
Nope.
the sun was setting.
Yep.
And I was like, that's why. But it was so long getting out of the
Yep.
bay because you have to go so slow.
Yep.
It was amazing, but my
Absolutely
gosh, it took
beautiful.
forever.
Yep. Went by an airport that was right on the water. My dad says he wants to land there one day in some kind of airplane.
We're literally
It's
flying by
cruising.
that
I love
right
that
now.
too.
It's over there,
Going
out,
under
right out
that
our window.
bridge was super nice with the sunset. Absolutely gorgeous.
You should come check out this bridge, baby.
Literally, this is the airport right here that that we were talking about. I believe it is. Maybe it's not. Is this it? No, we got to go further down. The one is like further down that way. But still, yes, there is an airport right here.
It all had it all lit up, kind of Christmas-esque, and so Mandy did a great job getting pictures and video as we went underneath this very colorful bridge. But then that also meant we're out of the bay.
And I
We're
really
into
feel
the
like
ocean.
the pictures and the video probably don't really do it justice
Not
because it
even
was
close.
just the sky looked like it melted with the sunset. I feel like with
so
the bridge,
true.
it was very, very cool. So
Yep.
that was really, and that was almost like, it's really weird because we were on the boat and we're getting out of the bay, so we're like, our cruise is starting. But for some reason, once we passed that sunset bridge, I'm like, okay, now it's official. Like,
Yeah.
we're out of the bay, we're in the ocean, we're doing this. It was very cool.
And that was day one. We walked around a little bit that evening and got to see a couple of things in the evening.
We should clarify.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the very first night, we were up at 2 a.m.
Oh, that's right.
going to...
Yes, we went to Oceans.
Yeah, we went to Oceans.
Which was a pub on board the boat,
Yeah.
and the only thing that was open to 2 a.m. at night.
Had comfort food, so we had a little bit of food, because for some reason we woke up at 2, and I think we were excited, and we looked
Yeah.
outside to see what it looked like, and then we kind of woke up a little bit, and we were like, well, what the heck, let's go check out the ship.
Yep.
So we walked around a lot, went and checked out, I think, the pool deck, which looked pretty empty.
Yep.
Went to Oceans. I mean, nobody can swim at 2 a.m.,
No.
obviously, but the pool deck was pretty empty. I'm sure everybody was sleeping, but of course we were like, let's go check out the empty ship at 2 a.m.
Mhm.
And it was very, very cool. It was kind of, it was exciting.
Very pretty, very quiet. So we'll wrap up this video with that. We're going to do updates on each day, and we might combine a couple days depending on how much video and photos we have. Our next stop is going to be in Key West, and
Yep.
that happens on the following day here. So
Beautiful water, stuff to look forward to. It was gorgeous. So yeah, join the next video.
join the next video. We'll give you updates on that. We did a pretty interesting little excursion and a whole bunch more. Thanks so much for watching our crazy little content. Hit that like button, subscribe.
Keep going or stick with the live stream. You guys pick. I don't mind either way. If you're enjoying the multimedia opportunity, then I got a bunch of videos on this trip, and I'm trying to relive this trip through this flight right now. So it's cool to me. But if you just prefer to watch the flight and have me talk and keep you company, you know I'm totally all down for that. Your call. So far, so beautiful. I am trying to get some altitude here. I like the idea of the vlogs too. All right, we'll keep the vlogs going. So let me find the next one in our series. So day 2 would be... let's do this one. Day 2.
So I'm writing an essay on cats. Cats in art history. I'm an art history major.
Welcome back to our little videos. My wife and I have been saving for 11 years of our 11-year marriage, thankfully.
I actually really loved how that worked out. Do you realize my
11 years for 11 days.
That was an accident. It was supposed to be 10 years
Yep.
for a 10-year anniversary,
Yep.
but it was 11 years, and our cruise just happens to be 11 days.
Yep.
So I thought that was the coolest thing.
Into Key West today as part of our video. By the way, my Faye wife today still is using her Faye voice because she was coughing on the majority of this trip, and we'll share more of that with you as we continue. But on day 2 of this cruise, we come into Florida Key West.
Beautiful,
Beautiful waters.
waters.
And then when we got on shore, our goal was to do a very specific excursion, one that had to do with rum and cigars, because my buddies are into cigars, so I thought I'd pick up a couple cigars to bring back and give to them. And of course, Mandy and I are fans of liquids. I like rums. I have
I
no
think
idea.
I would prefer for liquors, I like rums. That's kind of the one I tend to probably prefer the most out of
Yeah.
some of the
How
liquors.
many people are going on this tour with us?
I have been told that we are the lucky winners of an exclusive tour of just 2 people. You and myself.
Out of this entire ship?
Yes! That's amazing. You got your exclusivity, love.
That should be our room right there.
But quite frankly, I just thought it'd be cool because you've been kind of into cigars lately.
Yep.
You moved into pipes more, but I still
Yep.
thought it'd be kind of cool for you to see like the rolling of the cigars.
Yep, roll one myself.
And I kind of wanted to see some of the historical stuff per se. So
Yep.
we chose the rum and cigar excursion
Yep.
of Key West, Florida. So
Anyway.
Edgar walked us through Key West,
Yeah, beautiful.
which was beautiful. It was it was a pretty brief walk. He told us a little bit about his history himself, his wife, all
Yeah.
that. So we walked through the whole area. And he brought us to, my gosh, honey, I don't even think I got pictures of what the place is called, but
I got a little video, but not much. These guys specifically make a rum called Pilar.
Yep.
And that's how they choose to say it. It's not Pilar, it's Pilar.
Yeah, because I think we thought it was Pilar or Pilar, and
Yeah.
it's Pilar, I think.
Yeah.
And it is basically, Hemingway lived in Key West, Florida,
Mhm.
and this place is inspired by him, basically.
Yep.
And their bottles of the rum apparently are meant to reflect his canteen when he was in the military.
Yeah.
Yep, and because I don't know if he had that in his pictures or he wrote
Right.
about it or what.
Right. I think he wrote about it.
And it was really cool because it really does reflect, I feel
Yeah.
like, a canteen look.
Okay.
So, first one we're going to try. This is something we call fresh rum. This is basically the hearts of this. Remember the hearts?
Are you ready for 170 proof?
So we were pretty particular. So Pilar apparently is available in all 50 states, I think they told us.
Yes.
However, if you do get the ones from Key West, you will obtain a bottle with a rooster on the top cap, and that indicates that that particular Pilar rum was made exclusively in Key West. It
Yep.
was distilled in Key West.
Yep.
And so we actually obviously really wanted a keepsake and to be able to
Yeah.
notate that we'd been in Key West, so we chose to purchase those bottles in Key West so we could have that as a remembrance or whatever.
Yep.
Great time with Edgar. We finished out our tour. He dropped us off to another gal who then walked us over to our
Yeah, took us over to Rodriguez Cigars.
Yeah, and that's kind
And
of your fancy little thing.
That was a crazy little story because I go to a cigar club with a buddy of mine here in Great Falls, Montana. Now remember, we're considered rural.
We are rural. Yep.
I mean, we're in a rather large city.
We are in one of the largest cities of Montana, but
Yeah.
in general, we are obviously no large cities really at all in Montana as far as what people would consider large cities.
Outside of our state, we are considered rural.
Correct.
And so it's very interesting to have any cigars of value in our town, period. And so our people that own our shop, which is called Omerta, do a great job at collecting cigars from many different locations. One of those actually being Rodriguez Cigars, and that was a fun little surprise.
And I did not know that. We did not plan
no,
that.
we didn't know.
I planned this just knowing that it was cigars and we'd get
Yep.
Tim involved. And when we went there, the guy that was giving us the tour, Tim and him just started talking briefly
Yep.
and realized
Yep.
that the owner of our local cigar club obtains his
Yep.
stock from this particular Rodriguez cigar shop in Key West, Florida.
And that he was going to be showing up that
Yes.
night
Yeah.
to attend their 40th anniversary party that they were going to have. And I could tell the guy was about to invite us to it, but we had to be back on the ship.
Yeah, he was
within just a
mentioning
couple
that.
hours.
And that was hilarious, though, because
It was
literally
amazing.
from our little small town, Great Falls,
Yep.
we were randomly in Key West, Florida on this specific day,
Yep.
and someone else from Great Falls, Montana was going to be there at the same time, same place. That's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
So I quickly
Small world.
I quickly rolled a cigar that he showed me how to roll, and I still have that laying in my bags. And then I bought I bought over $200 of cigars.
You bought way too much.
I bought a cutter that cost $79, and I had no idea what I was doing.
You did not
I was
know.
I was just enjoying the experience, and
You got a little wrapped up
I
in
went
some
a little.
souvenir, yeah.
I got a little prideful and had a bit too much
you
fun.
got a little wrapped up in soup. And then we were done there, and after that we had our
Downtown
own
Key
personal
West.
time to explore ourselves.
And it was lovely.
It was very cool. So we walked around Key West a little bit and got some lunch and watched the local protected birds.
Yes, all the roosters and chickens walking around, and yes, all protected. And they were walking into shops, they were everywhere, and we
Yep.
sat down at a fun little Mexican restaurant, got some tacos
Yep.
and some margaritas,
Yep.
and they were lovely.
It was lovely.
And we were watching the birds all walking around us and looking for food.
Yeah, so I think we made our way back to the ship and just enjoyed the ship for the
Mhm.
rest of the day.
We did.
So that kind of wrapped up. I don't even think I really took any pictures. You might have gotten video of us coming out
Yep.
of Key West. I'm not sure, but that kind of wrapped up our Key West Florida
It did.
day.
It did.
It was very nice. It was a very nice, actually pretty calm first day, which kind of worked us into the whole situation.
It
so
did.
it was great.
Because every night we'd be going to bed and waking up in another country, and we'll be sharing more of that with you as we continue our story here. So please keep watching our videos.
Join us for day 3.
Yep, get subscribed, That way you can see when we release more of this content. We have 11 days of content that we're going to be releasing, showing you everywhere where we've been, and talk a little bit about the Norwegian Cruise Line. So we have a lot more coming in the next couple days that we're going to be showing you as we continue making our little videos. Now, this is a newer YouTube channel, part of...
Alrighty, Zach, you be good,
I
man.
have no clue. So we're on day 3 and 4 of our cruise now, which means this is a sea day. They have a bunch of stuff you can do while you're on these sea days. All kinds of different shows, plenty of restaurants, things to eat, things like that. We scheduled a dinner at the end of the night for our sea day, where we went to Moderno, and that's basically a Brazilian restaurant, right, hon?
I think it's like a Brazilian steakhouse kind of thing, yep.
So they bring you all the food out on these big steaks, skewers, and stick it out on your plate. And for the day, I ended up hanging out a little bit with one of the people that we met in the room next to us. He and I went and had a cigar in the cigar lounge that they had on the ship, and had a couple of drinks and things. So this day went by rather quickly, and we went straight to dinner that evening, and that was quite nice. What did you do?
I think I pretty much rested and slept while you were hanging out with your cigar buddy.
Yep.
And then I think that was before dinner, because dinner was like at 8:30. It was pretty late.
Right, it was pretty late.
So we went to dinner, and then I think, honestly, we went back to the room and slept.
Yeah, we kind of died.
Pretty sure this might have been the day into the night
Yeah.
that I got 16 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I think I fell asleep at 4 or 5 and then woke up for dinner and then went back to sleep and slept all night.
The next morning we woke up in Puerto Plata, right?
Yep.
Puerto Plata.
Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic.
That's
wow,
right.
my goodness.
Now, let's be honest right up front. It felt like we were walking into Disney World.
Well, when we first got to the port, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It
Yep.
kind of was exciting. It's another port. But as soon as we got into the actual little, I think it's called Taino Bay area,
Mm-hmm.
it really did, especially with the Christmas tree and kind of how they had everything set up. Yeah, it really did start to kind of feel like you were walking in to Disney World. And most of you probably think we're saying that as a compliment, but unfortunately, we're not really.
No.
It felt, I think, a little too touristy, a little too
Mega busy.
familiar.
Yep.
And of course, you know that most of the ports you go to, all of the people are coming out from stores, trying to kind of lure you in.
Yeah.
Had a lot of that, which I wasn't unexpecting of, but after a while, it does get pretty tired.
It does get a little monotonous.
But yeah, Taino Bay, I think it's called Taino Bay, it just felt a little too, definitely, what we call it Disney World because that's all touristy. Mega touristy, and just almost so much so that it's fake feeling.
A fake resort.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And not downplaying the fact that we're in a different country. That was really enjoyable.
That was super enjoyable.
They had a cute little pool that we went and saw and walked by.
DJ and the dancers were all awesome.
Yeah, you said you loved the DJ and the dancers. And
Oh
it was
man, that guy
cool.
was good.
Had good music, but it just wasn't. I think we did not spend very long at all
No,
in
we
this
really
port.
didn't.
We pretty much walked down and back, and I'd say probably an hour,
Give or take.
hour and a half or less, and we were back on the boat. So it admittedly probably was probably my least favorite port.
Yeah.
Looking back on everything. So.
Yep. Well, and yeah, you get sidelined by all the people trying to pull you into their shops, and I mean, like there was a makeup lady who was very sweet in her, communications with Mandy, but at a certain point in time, you could tell that she was just trying to lasso her right in to the shop, and that happens at most of the shops. The guys tried to do that to me at a cigar shop as well. We did enjoy stopping off at one place and getting a couple pina coladas and things like that. And it was nice to freely walk around. So like we said, we didn't stay there very long. We ended up just getting back on the ship and enjoying our day on the ship, enjoying our room. I think we really, really, really enjoyed our room just because, I mean, you can get an inside room for much, much cheaper. I'd say it was like $800 a person for an inside room.
Yeah, I think it was like $6.99 is what the original advertisement was for an inside stateroom per person. But this was our first cruise, and I was very much debating if we wanted to do a balcony, especially since it was such a very long cruise. 11 days is a long time. It feels to go without maybe having the view of the outside unless you're physically going out somewhere else on the boat. And, you know, knowing us, we're not always necessarily in the most appropriate clothing.
We're not crazy people.
Yeah, so I wanted to be able to experience the balcony, and quite frankly, it was double the price per person. So it wound up costing us about $1,400 or $1,600 per person for that balcony room. But for the most part, I think it was fairly worth it for our first time.
But they're built very well.
They are built very well. They have a lot of, I think it's very well taken into account as far as the space and how it works.
And truth be told, the other two things are, we're big people.
Yes, we are.
I'm about 240. You don't have to give your weight. But for our size and stuff, getting in the shower wasn't too bad. Getting on the toilet wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
getting in front of the sink. Their very tiny, minuscule bathroom still suited fairly well for us, for the most part.
I would agree with that.
And once again, you close your eyes in one port, you open your eyes in the next port, and we'll talk to you about that in our next video as we keep going through this. Now keep listening in, because we do want to keep giving you little snippets of what it was like to be first-time cruisers, especially with Norwegian Cruise Lines. I mean, we heard from all kinds of people around us on how they were feeling about things. And there's things that we can mention, certainly what worked well for us. Drink packages, food packages. The big thing that we were always wondering about was how do you handle tips and things. So we'll bring that up in future videos. For now, that wraps up this one. We hope you're enjoying it. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Whenever we go on trips, I try to film what I can, and then we share it across one of my 7 different YouTube channels through the Legacy Studio Network. So you can take a look down below, and make sure to follow on Discord as well, because all of our videos can show up in one place right there. So we'll see you in the next one. Well, hello there, dear friends. Welcome back to Beyond Legacy Studio, one of my 7 YouTube channels with tons of content on it. This one's extra special, though, because my wife and I have been saving up for 11 years to do an 11-day cruise in the Caribbean. And we had such a good time. It was incredible. And what we've been doing is documenting each day and talking a little bit about them, what it's like being first-time cruisers on Norwegian, and talking about where we went. Today, we get to go to the beautiful St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Yep, Virgin Islands.
What do you think?
I thought it was beautiful. I'm actually really glad I got to say I went there, because I think I've always wanted to say, or be able to say that I've gone to St. Thomas and or St. Martin. Martin. And so I'm really glad I got to say I went to one of them. And even cooler and better, which I'm sure you'll share, is the fact that you and your family have some history there. So that was kind of cool to partake in as well.
My dad, as a kid, grew up in Puerto Rico, not too far away from St. Martin and St. Thomas, and so his dad was very well-to-do. They had plenty of money to play with, so they had their boats, and they toured around all the Virgin Islands. As we were taking pictures of St. Thomas and sending them back home to the family, it was wonderful getting texts back from my dad saying, "I know exactly where you are. Your grandmother bought your grandfather a Rolex watch just a few blocks from where you are," and just absolutely beautiful stories, and making everything feel so incredibly close, kind of like coming to a home I've never known, kind of feeling my grandpa there looking down at me and being like, "Hey dude, wish I'd met you," you know. There's like a little mini shopping plaza area as soon as you get off the port. And it's a lot of jewelry shops, that's for sure.
It is a lot of jewelry shops. I feel like in a lot of the ports we went to, there were 60% jewelry shops, whether it was Pandora, International Diamonds, K Jewelers was shocking to see.
I know. Crocs.
Crocs, Little Switzerland, everything was like 60% jewelry. So I'm not really sure why that is, if it's supposed to be cheaper or they just assume people want to buy jewelry. I'm not sure, but that was definitely interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, we're like, well, we don't want to just stop in this plaza, even though I did buy myself a really beautiful watch there to kind of represent the entire trip. And Bob at the store gave us a great price, one I could not refuse. And so, but we wanted to see more. And so we hopped on a taxi. And now I have my watch that actually represents our trip.
at the casino now?
Yeah. Hey, I made us more money in the casino than you did.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you lost. I made it, we just won at the casino. I think I technically made within the room. No. Maybe you did. I think you made more.
I made more. Because I took $5 and flipped it to 50.
Yeah.
You took $5 and flipped it to 20.
A negative 40.
And we drove a couple minutes away into downtown where we got to go through some beautiful alleys that they had with shops and drink plazas and all kinds of crazy stuff as you're walking down. Palm trees on the sides of the road, just every kind of beautiful thing, galleries, and you just really couldn't go wrong. When you walk down an alley, there was just so much beauty to see in each one.
I love all the cobblestone streets too. I keep saying that, but every time we go to like an international place, I've only been international previously once, and that was to Spain. But they have a lot of cobblestone
Yeah, they
streets
do.
there, and I'm sure a lot of other places do too. But that's my only reference. And so when I'm able to go through and see all the cobblestones and the alleys and just how cool it is to have what appears to be or what should be an indoor area outside.
Yep.
It is very, very cool to me, very homey feeling.
Now, admittedly, St. Thomas brought a rather big and important learning experience for us because we stopped at a restaurant called the Greenhouse. They did a great job. It was wonderful food. Get a view out on the bay, right where our ships were parked. It was absolutely beautiful. But this did start a rather big problem for us right here in this space where they charged our card wrong, and so they tried to fix it. But in trying to fix it, somehow they literally damaged the card that we had that we were using for all of our purchases. Of course, it's wise to take a credit card with you versus debit cards and things. That way you can't, you can secure some more of that money a little better.
And that was what we took. That was
And
what
that
got
is what we
damaged, was
took.
the credit card.
And so the credit card got damaged where we're calling up the company. Chase is who we were with. And they're saying your system seems fine. Doesn't look like anyone's tried to take anything from you. Everything's okay.
Yeah, the account is fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. We see no issues on our end. But continuously, the shops, the card would, after that, no longer
work.
complete
Period.
purchases.
So no tapping, no scanning chips, no swiping the card. None of it worked.
Yeah.
The card was completely destroyed, and we're not
It
sure
was-
how.
And when we say destroyed, there was nothing looked physically
No.
wrong with it. It looked just fine.
Yep.
But somehow, I kept telling Tim, obviously, maybe demagnetize, but I'm not sure how that works.
No idea.
The card was fine, the account was fine, but the card would no longer accept purchases. It would no longer finalize purchases when you were either trying to tap or scan or swipe, like Tim is saying. So that ran us into a little bit of a debacle because we were concerned about backup payment methods, and thankfully we did take some, and by happenstance, Tim had a backup card that I was not expecting him to have, nor would I have wanted him to have if I'd known it. But it actually worked out very well for us, and we were able to reconcile some of that. But lesson to us learned is definitely make sure you take probably 2 backup charge plans in case you have a card that is no longer useful.
I would suggest they should both be Visa, because we had American Express as a backup plan, and the first place that we went to test that, they couldn't take American Express.
Yep.
And that made us rather frightened for the entire rest of our trip on whether or not anyone else overseas would take American Express. Most people did, thankfully, but
What's
that
really
one
weird is
experience really threw us off.
I don't remember where it was, but one of the islands was like all American Express because it had, I think, some type of American Express local.
Yeah.
And so they were like, they'd take it everywhere, but almost every other island, it was hit and miss if they would take American Express. You just kind of have to be careful with the type of cards you have and how prevalently accepted they will be.
We were very thankful that with my card, which was just a debit card, we were able to get cash from the ship's casino so that we had backup cash if we couldn't do it. But that was enough to freak us out. And unfortunately, if you're on board the ship and you need to call home for any reason via their phone lines, it cost us $5 a minute.
Yep.
And we had one phone call that cost us $50 just to find out that our credit card was running perfectly fine. The account was working perfectly fine, but the card was not.
Yep.
So it became very expensive to attempt to solve the crisis of our credit card as we were out there. So, yeah, take multiple payment options, take extra cash, and I would say try to make sure that you at least have 1 or 2 Visa credit cards that you keep close. So when we got back on our ship, after having a lovely day out, having lunch, me getting my watch, and just getting to experience a lot of what St. Thomas had to offer, we came back to something very cute laying on the bed for us. That is so cute. Oh, that smells amazing. Well, and pilot's coming out, so that means that we're about to leave. Oh, smell it? Looks
What's
like
going
they're
on,
still trying to
Dollar
put away our
Boy?
deck, but with the pilot pulling out, I'm pretty sure we're leaving. There's no one else out here except one guy, and he's definitely pulling up the deck. I know, right? Now, here's 2 things. One, first off, because we're in the Christmas season, as we're on this cruise, every day there were new Christmas decorations around the ship.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun to see what they were putting out, and a lot of gingerbread stuff, gingerbread houses,
Little villages, Christmas
crazy villages. Now, the other side of this is that the neighbors next to us gave us some rubber duckies, and that's
Playing Flight Simulator. We're flying to the Florida Keys. And one of the other guys was here, and I was telling him the reason why I'm flying to the Florida Keys in the video game is because I had done a cruise with my wife, and we'd gone to the Caribbean, and I want to go and fly all the different airports that that we traveled to in our 11-year anniversary trip. We saved 11 years to do a cruise. Never thought we'd get to do something so fun and fancy. We're still paying back for it. But I thought it was going to be kind of fun to do that. And I'm like, well, here, let me show you the video. So I've been playing through the vlogs while I'm doing the flight. And we're about ready to come in here to Key West here in a few minutes and land somewhere down there in Key West. So that's what I'm up to. Pretty fun. And I'm enjoying reliving, watching through my vlogs. So it's all good. I'm having a good time.
because apparently there's a game that happens as you go on about the ship, and the goal is to hide as many rubber duckies as possible. And everyone finds these rubber duckies and trades them, and it was so much fun. So Mandy hid a rubber ducky on the on some of the Christmas decor and things like that, wherever we could find a place. And it was really, really fun to be a part of that game. And you were following some social medias of people, like Facebook groups of the ship itself. How'd that work?
When I had enough internet, I was able to check, and I was kind of following the Norwegian Cruise Facebook group, and there were people finding ducks and things, and they would post them. But you and I never found any ducks. The ship was also hiding Norwegian ships. I think they were little plastic gold or yellow ships.
3D printed ships.
And they were hiding those, never found those. But we also, it wasn't necessarily what was the priority of on our mind.
No, not at all.
But a lot of people did post they were finding stuff. So they were either very used to it and knew where to look and where possible things might be hidden, or they just got lucky, one of the two. So we didn't find anything, but we wound up hiding some of the ducks that we were provided, and enjoyed ourselves with trying to kind of get those hidden. And for the most part, as soon as we hid them, we'd walk back past them in within 5 or 10 minutes, and they were gone.
Yep.
So it was a lot of fun, though.
It was a lot of fun.
See you later, baller.
That's going to wrap up this day in our cruise. Now, we're going to be going in the next video to Catalina Island, part of the, what did you say it was?
Actually, it's Dominican Republic. I apologize.
Yeah.
I thought it was Grand Cayman, but it's Catalina Island, and it's actually one of the, kind of the opposite side of the other part of the Dominican Republic we've already visited. So we got to go to a little private island area where there was a beach.
And this is a very interesting scenario. We'll tell you about it tomorrow when we create the next video. But the long story short, you can't get out to this by just hopping off the boat. You got to get on something called a tender. We'll talk about that next time. Make sure that you get subscribed if you liked all this kind of content. We make these on occasion whenever we take trips. Try and share a little bit about what it's like to do new things. And certainly, first time on the Norwegian Cruise Line, the Jewel. and it's been super fun, a great way to spend 11 years of marriage and celebrate that together and take you on the journey with us. So stay tuned. We got more coming in the next video. Thanks for watching. Well, hello there, dear friends. So today, where are we? You tell me, because I've gotten this wrong a couple times. It's your time to make it right.
We went over to the private island of Catalina Island in Dominican Republic.
And my wife is still using her beautiful little Faye voice because she got sick during the cruise. I got sick as well. A lot of coughing. And what ended up happening is throat gets sore, and she learned that she could keep a lot of that down by talking with a lovely little Faye voice. So this is my Faye voice, and you have a Faye voice. So please excuse that, but she's made that work very well for her, and she's healing up really well. So today we got to go on a tender. What is a tender?
That's a good question. As by definition, I assume it's just travel boat?
So I would say what they ended up doing was they ended up taking some of their life shuttles, you know, like their ships that you would get on in a Titanic scenario, and they actually took 2 or 3 of these things off the side of the boat and utilized them to transport the guests from the ocean to the land. And it was kind of cool because it was a different experience that I wasn't expecting that we'd actually get to try. And where they took us was really, really cool.
Walking off a huge cruise ship to a smaller boat, literally in the ocean, not on a port, not like the large cruise ship is fairly well parked per se.
Yep.
But yeah, just to know that you're kind of walking from one ship to another when they're just kind of
bobbing together
with a little walkway across them is very interesting.
Yeah, kind of trippy. You saw a couple people getting a little freaked out about it, but it really wasn't anything to get freaked out about. They did a fantastic job making sure that everyone got it off, on and off properly.
Yep.
And then going to the shore, just looking down into the water, you saw fish everywhere. It was absolutely beautiful. Now, this is a very interesting day that we're going to share with you. In complete honesty, did not go as we expected at all. The excursion that we were going to be on today was to be on a catamaran that was going to take us to an area where we would get to do some snorkeling over a reef, coral reef. And we were going to see some really beautiful fish, and that was how it was marketed. And these excursions, let's just be honest, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. What is an excursion like this? What was it roughly?
I don't remember this one exactly, but I know that our excursions, they pretty much, I think they spread anywhere from about $90 a person, which is more of a walking tour in my opinion,
right,
to upwards of, I think, $160 to $200 a person for more like the snorkeling type of situation.
Right.
Where they're using their equipment and their gas and their guides and things like that to take you on a little bit of a bigger excursion rather than just a walking tour.
Right.
This was, I'm guessing, probably like $180 a person or something, is my guess.
And so we were going to board this little ship, and we were going to head out. And they had a bunch of people that were joining us. And it was a packed house. And so you get on this boat, we head out, and it was a lovely little ride. Heading out there. I mean, you get to see all the beautiful water and stuff like that. Really, really enjoyed that. But then it kind of went downhill a little bit because they apparently didn't have enough life preservers or life vests to get everyone in the water. The equipment really wasn't that great that we were using when it came to the masks and snorkels. The masks that we were using literally still had the tags on them where they'd just like taken them and thrown them into a bucket of water, and that was that. It wasn't a great scenario, and there were some people who were very displeased with the experience, and we were kind of some of those people too.
It was my first time snorkeling. Was it yours?
No, I've been snorkeling in the Caribbean before, but only on my own.
Okay.
We had our own gear.
So this was my first time ever snorkeling. I was a bit nervous just because it's in the open ocean. It's obviously not incredibly deep. I think they said 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
So it wasn't horrible. But I'm not, I am a little angsty.
You don't like the
ocean.
fishies.
I don't like the fishies, but I really wanted to kind of,
try something new.
Well, and overcome this fear and enjoy something new. And it started out somewhat okay, but yeah, we basically, a lot of times what I do is if there's a lot of people involved in an activity, I'll wait until everyone else has gotten through whatever they're doing, gotten their life jacket, and they're kind of dispersed so we can have more space to do our stuff. Well, clearly there's a reason people don't wait till the last minute to do stuff or the last one to do things, because just like Tim mentioned, they ran out of appropriate equipment. They really only had life vests that were kind of like the big orange ones that you see almost more in like
Airlines.
Airlines, emergency situations. There was nothing comfortable about them. Once they ran out, they were starting to use pool noodles.
Anything they can get their hands on.
Honestly, literally anything that would float that they could get their hands on that would allow the customers that they brought onto their catamaran to be involved in the snorkeling.
Yes.
And there were some agitated customers before we even got in the boat.
They were getting out.
They were getting out of the water and
verbalizing how displeased they were.
Verbalizing how displeased they were and how this boat had no business doing any type of excursion such as this.
Yep.
And admittedly, as they're saying this, Tim and I are looking at each other thinking, wow, that may not be far from the truth, because this doesn't exactly feel like they're very well prepared.
No.
So we went ahead, and because people were getting back out of the water already, we had the ability to have some equipment. We got in, but unfortunately, when we first got there, there probably were more sights able to be seen under the water, but there were so many people, and so many boats that eventually all the life under the surface decided that there was too much activity, I'm sure, and scurried away and hid.
Yep.
So we really didn't get to see much of anything. I think probably the 3.
All right, we're going to mute this, and we're going to go in full game here and try to land without too much trouble, hopefully. So just getting lined up to land. If you watch this later and you enjoyed the vlog connection with this, let me know. I'm enjoying watching it. I'm a multi. If I'm not live streaming, I probably have like 2 videos playing, a video game going. I mean, I'm pretty crazy when it comes to some of this stuff. So, I'm enjoying that. Okay, we might be coming in a little fast. Actually, I'm sure we're coming in a little fast, but we're going to find out here pretty quick. Oh boy. This is going to be a tough one. Oh! Okay, and I'm just hitting the brakes. No. Where's the right button? This one. Which is still not the right button, but we're doing this. We're probably going to go off the edge of the runway because I can't pull this back. Oh, stop. Nope. That didn't go well. Still haven't learned how to land this plane. Oh, well. We tried. And we failed. All right. I love you guys. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye. Oops. Bad things happen when you fly a plane that you don't know anything about.